And it's a very beautiful morning in the city of Lagos. Welcome to the sports show. Talk about the Sports Republic right here on Voice of the People TV. It's a time for us to give you updates about the way it transpired during the weekend. And then let's bring you some top stories right now. The first one we give you a highlight of what we talk about is that Osimhen's transfer talk is very deep. And I will let you know Osimhen and the Lookman might be fighting it together just for Paris Saint-Germain move. And we have Janne Anderson. What he brings, the Super Eagles talk is very imperative. We must talk about it. And then there's a new coach talk. I will let you know about the NPFL ultimatum that has been placed out there about the NPFL and also CAF Champions League. Remo Stars getting the result right yesterday. We'll tell you about Novak Djokovic in the tennis world. There's a FedEx Cup game that was played as well. Jordan Spieth in the world of golf might be having a surgery. And then hopefully by the end of the show, I will be here to analyze and talk about the Chelsea match, losing to Manchester City and every other sporting news or football news that played out for the weekend. But we start with the first one. Yes, it will be Osimhen transfer talk. But thank you so much for joining us this beautiful morning. And it's a Monday, the 19th of August, 2024. You already know I remain your host on the Sports Republic show. And then my name is Kizuke. We'll start with the first one where Napoli sporting director Giovanni Mana has provided an update on the future of star player Victor Osimhen, stating that the Nigerian striker has expressed his desire to leave the club despite Osimhen's importance to the team. Napoli is willing to let him go, and then Mana emphasizing that the club integrity and interest will be prioritized. There has been significant interest in Osimhen from top European clubs, with Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain leading the chase. However, no agreement has been reached yet, and Napoli is taking its time to consider the best option for Victor Osimhen. In the event, you need to know, Osimhen's departure, Napoli are also exploring the potential replacement with one man, the Belgian international, Romelu Lukaku, is emerging as a top target. The Belgian striker experience was very good for the team, and his goal-scoring prowess and the ability to make him an alternative for that side. It will be so attractive to have Lukaku. But before I leave Osimhen talk, let me let you know this one. Victor Osimhen's case is big because Napoli are waiting. If August 30 gets to come and no suitable offer for Victor Osimhen, it means the club will have to have a discussion with Osimhen and his agent, Roberto Calenda, and his representative to know if the Nigerian player will stay back with the club. But that will be possibly on the detriment of Victor Osimhen, because if he stays back, he might not just get that playing time. And trust me, wanting a setting, it's inevitable that his value would definitely get to drop. But elsewhere, there's another one about Nigerian player. The next story I have is the transfer battle. I don't know if I will say that they want to knock our head together. I know that's how to talk about, because Ademola Lookman is a Nigerian player. Paris Saint-Germain are lining up a bid to sign him. Romelu Lukaku is a Belgian player. He's off the story. So it's about Lookman and Osimhen. Ademola Lookman is on the radar of Paris Saint-Germain, who are also making an effort to sign Victor Osimhen. The League One side have been in market for a striker, or possibly a striker, or just a winger maybe, to replace Kylian Mbappe, and that's been the talk about that man. But French giant Paris Saint-Germain are reportedly interested in a move for another Nigerian international as they monitor Victor Osimhen. The Parisians are desperate to fill the void created by Kylian Mbappe's departure to Real Madrid, as efforts are being made to bolster their squad. It was gathered that they have recently been linked with Atletico Bilbao star Nico Williams and Napoli winger Victor Kvaratskhelia. However, it was also gathered that the Spaniard and the Georgian were considered unsellable by their respective clubs. Reports that Paris Saint-Germain have now beamed their searchlight on impressive Atalanta forward Ademola Lookman. The 26-year-old caught the eyes of several clubs following the performance in the Europa League final, where he netted a hat-trick against Bayer Leverkusen. It was gathered that Paris Saint-Germain have reached out to Lookman representative, who have, in turn detailed that the Nigerian international is interested in moving to France. Now, you can see how big it is. Now, the former RB Leipzig and Everton star was impressive for the Super Eagles at the 23 Africa Cup of Nations, where Nigeria finished as runners-up under Pesero. He was, however, far from that very story, and then it's a big one. It's just to look about Ademola Lookman's story. Now, let's give you another update quickly. Let's let you know that there's a talk about the Super Eagles now. Let's keep you updated. Super Eagles coach search is out there. Let's let you know that former Sweden manager Janne Anderson. This is the case study of the show. This is the very biggest one of the show. This is the top series of the show. This is the major one where you have to bring you. I will have to bring you the man who just showed you some minutes goal. I believe the producers behind just cannot wait to bring that man out. And we have him on the screen right now. Former Sweden manager Janne Andersson is reportedly the leading candidate for the vacant Super Eagles coaching role. Although the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has not yet made an official announcement, sources also suggest that the 61-year-old is poised to take over the reins of the Nigerian national team. Andersson, who concluded his tenure with Sweden in November 2023 after a 7-year stint, previously turned down an offer from Latvia. Now, you need to keep this one that his potential appointment would make him the second Swedish coach to manage the Super Eagles, following the footsteps of Lars Lagerberg, who guided Nigeria during the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. Another Sweden international is Thomas Denavi. Also, he's made his mark in Nigerian football by leading the Super Falcons at the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup, as Andersson is in the story. So his tenure, this man you have on your screen now, his tenure with the Swedish side was marked by notable success, including qualifying them for the 2018 FIFA World Cup, where Sweden advanced to the quarterfinals after topping Group F ahead of South Korea, Mexico, and defending champions Germany. They were eventually knocked out by England, despite Sweden's recent struggles, including missing out of the 2022 World Cup and failing to qualify for the Euro 2024. Andersson, the man you have on your screen, his experience and pedigree make him a strong contender to lead the Super Eagles. Nigeria national team is scheduled to face Benin Republic and then Rwanda in the upcoming African qualifiers. Talk about the game for September. And Andersson's appointment could bring a fresh tactical approach to the squad. Now, let me talk about Janne Andersson a little bit. Let's go to the next one. The new coach, what Janne Andersson will bring to the Super Eagles. You might be wondering, I'll tell you. Former Swedish coach Janne Andersson is known as a no-nonsense coach who believes in the team organization and directs football rather than the individual styles and ball possession. You can see he likes his game in a very different way. Yes, no-nonsense man, he doesn't tolerate, that's okay. But he so much believes in team organization and directs football rather than the individual styles and ball possession. So he does not dominate. He comes with a wealth of experience as he's covered the shores of his native country for 7 years, and then he previously managed some club side and the Swedish side for 2015. This man you have, he's another man that's recorded 51.06% win percentage in that very game. He won 48, he drew 15 and lost 31 games. His team scored 151 goals and conceded 97 to give a healthy plus 54 goal difference. He's built a solid and organized Sweden team, who, however, were not exciting. We're not all scared to talk about, limited going forward, and did not take risk. Look at the kind of coach the NFF is bringing for us, please. It doesn't sound like I'm not appreciating it, but we are wanting to bring a coach within a short period of time, and look at the lackadaisical approach of the game that he brings to the table. He is not a possession-playing coach. One of the reasons I learned that the people on the outside talked about Pesero was that many people don't like Pesero because he wasn't possessing the game. Now, we have one of the most valuable teams in Africa, if not the most valuable side. And what happened in the Nations Cup was a whole lot of talk by the people on the outside, even you. I recall people were saying possession-wise, Pesero was not possessing the game, he's not dominating the game, he's got Osimhen, Frank Onyeka, Alex Iwobi, big players in the national team. Now we have this man who we want to make our coach. It would interest you to know that he was never shortlisted. When therefore they bring all these coaches, they come. The last time we had a Swedish coach, I recall Lagerberg in the national team, not for the female category. We know the story of Lagerberg and how he went. Now, it would therefore be most interesting to see how he will work with the tantalizing attacking riches of the Nigerian football, because right now the highlight of 7 years in charge of Sweden was when he guided them to reach the last 8 of the 2018 World Cup in Russia, where they crashed out after playing against England. Andersson, you know, is of the old school of Swedish coaches who were heavily influenced by Englishman Bob Hoyton and then Roy Hodgson, who's back to basic style. In the mid-1970s, Sweden quickly became a part of the country's footballing DNA. Andersson's arrival coincided with the initial international retirement of Sweden top star Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and then the timing was perfect. The coach preferred to concentrate on organizing the collective more than accommodating the individual star. He's also a proponent of the 4-4-2 formation, while using 2 defensive midfielders with an emphasis on a big target up front. So we are expecting a lot from this man. But critics said his game plan are eating. We are relegated to the 3rd tier of the Nations League in 2022. He is now the right fit for a Super Eagles job, despite lacking public confidence and result against some of the lesser powers in African football. Are you happy with this man being the coach of Nigeria? Talk about Anderson. There's one thing the NFF does a lot is the fact that majorly they like to bring in a coach who we don't even know. My friend will say we like to give the coaches a boost. This man you have on your screen, I don't even think I'm a fan. But may not be like say we lost. May not be like say we not get coach. Let him come. But he's coming in as what? Is he as the head coach? Is he an ultimatum on him? With an ultimatum placed on him, will he manage the Rwanda and be in the game and leave? Or will it be a long duration of time that was never given to our own Finidi George? You begin to imagine and you begin to ask questions. Where do we get those coaches from? No disrespect to him. He's a good coach in his time or on his side for the Swedish outfit. But how do you bring a man who knows nothing about African football? The Nations Cup is closed for next year, and that's Marrakech, Morocco to be exact. And we are wanting to bring a Swedish. It's okay to say he's a foreign coach. We like a foreign coach, no doubt. But is this one of the A-class coaches? I don't even think he is because I'm not a fan. Now, he's coming in to manage the team for the game for September. Today is 19th. If you do your mathematics very well, you would know that it's very close. And we want to hope for the best and possibly prepare for the worst. Because as it stands now, I can say this, we just might not even make it to the Nations Cup. Because the team is still wobbling, might to say waggling. We are still trying to get a team. Okay, let me give you a shocking story now. Let's go to the next one about the AFCON qualifier. Rwanda coach, his name is Spitzler. He has unveiled the provisional squad for the Super Eagles clash. Rwanda head coach Thorsten Spitzler has released the provisional 36-man squad for the side in the 25 Africa Cup of Nations against Libya and then Nigeria. The squad is dominated by players plying their trade in the Rwanda Premier League. Do you know what this possesses? It means that their league is even organized. For the body to go back to get players from the league, you can now begin to deduce that the Rwanda league looks okay. They are playing against the Nigerian side and have their players play abroad. Most of our players play abroad. Now, defenders like, the likes of Emmanuel Imachiniwe, who plays for Cyprus club AAL Limassol, is also the biggest star in the team. Spitzler is expected to reduce the squad before the qualifier. The Amabu Visa will face Libya, and that will play at Tripoli Stadium on Wednesday. Then, September 4, Rwanda will then host the Super Eagles at the Amahoro Stadium on Tuesday, September 10. That game, they fear me. I don't know what you make about that, but I'll tell you, I'm very scared about that match. Because we are talking about the side that don't have a coach. So let me even say this to you. Do you know that if it wasn't for the fact that there's a game closed, we might not have a coach up till now? Austin Iguavo turned down that job. I'm so surprised. I can't believe it. I can't believe Iguavo turned that job down because I was saying it on the show on radio and on TV, and I said, Iguavo, they don't follow you, they play. Now, any job when they vomit, you will collect. But the case was different. The reverse was the case. He turned down that job and said no. And he's like the second man doing that. The first man I saw saying no to NFF was Amokachi. He said, you cannot control me like that. If you want me to be the coach of the Super Eagles or the assistant, you need to make it formal. You need to make it formal. Put it plain, like the Bible verse will say, make it plain on the vision. You write that. That's like Habakkuk if you know the story. But aside that, the FIFA ranking is another one we talk about. The FIFA ranking, Nigeria retains the global position, remains first in Africa. Don't get me wrong, I'm talking about the Nigerian senior women's football team. The Super Falcons has held on their 36th position in the latest FIFA global ranking. According to the list released on Friday, August 16, 2024, the Super Falcons also remain the top-ranked women's football team in Africa, underscoring their dominance on the continent. This ranking comes despite a disappointing showing at the recent Women's Summer Olympic football event in Paris. The Super Falcons struggled to advance beyond the group stage, suffering 3 consecutive defeats. They lost 1-0 to, both Brazil and Spain, followed by a 3-1 defeat to Japan, ultimately finishing at the bottom of the Group C. They did not win any match. Failing Nigeria in the African ranking are South Africa 50th, Morocco 59, Zambia 62nd, 62 you could say, Ghana 66th. Despite their recent challenges, the Super Falcons continue to be more recognized as a formidable force in the African women football. Now, let's tell you the top 10 teams in the world according to the latest FIFA ranking. United States of America comes number 1, number 2, England, number 3 is the Spanish side of Spain, number 4, Germany, Sweden 5, Canada 6, Japan 7, Brazil 8, Korea DPR 9, and then the French national team making it the number 10 in that women's category. Now, elsewhere, when there's a coach, there's a word that says real recognize real. Do you know that? Let's leave the Falcons talk and bring this one to you, where we have someone saying humble and hardworking. And I don't like to say this all the time. I detest the word that says manifest to when they manifest. And that's how we see a lot of time. But the Swedish football tactician, Thomas Denaby, who managed the Super Falcons at the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup and 2018 CAF Champions, talk about CAF Women's Cup of Nations, has been contacted to react to ongoing speculation in the local press linking German Jane Anderson, talk about, you could call him Janne Jane Anderson, with the vacant role of the Super Eagles. Now, following the resignation of Finidi George as head coach of the Super Eagles, speculation has been raised about the potential successor of Finidi, a former Super Eagles player himself, stepped down after the Nigerian Football Federation announced plans to appoint a foreign coach and possibly a technical advisor. Now, flamboyant French coach Hervé Renard has been linked with the job, but the Nigerian Football Federation had no, we don't have the money. Let me not paint it. We don't have the money to bring in this man. Now, other names being bandied about the potential successor to Finidi were the likes of Steve McLaren, who took over the job of Jamaica. Tom Saint-Fiant is looking for this job. He's a Philippine coach, and Eric Sekuchel is in the story. Now, all of those coaches, do you know how funny this is? This man we have, the man you have on your screen now is the former coach of the Falcons. He's Swedish. He's vibing and supporting his own brother. And I'm not saying now, you want to manage Nigeria, now big brand, you take it or leave it. Nigeria Super Eagles, we are the biggest brand of sports in Nigeria. Now, this man you have on the screen now is giving a very big backup to Jane Anderson, because Jane Anderson is currently a free agent after leaving his role as Sweden coach in November 2023 after the Scandinavia failed to qualify for the 24 European Championship. Now, this is how big this story is. But we go on a break. When we return, we'll give you updated about this one and talk about the NPFL. And I can't wait to talk about European football and then Chelsea, Man City game played yesterday. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Sports Republic Show. I cannot wait to give you an update about the Premier League and all the games that happened. Can you believe that Kylian Mbappe's team drew to Mallorca? Nobody did see that coming, but let's give you an update about the MFL before we talk about club football. But you need to know, as it stands now, Nigeria Super Eagles are on the verge of bringing in men who I don't support. Do you support him? Do you like that man, Jane Anderson? Please, Google him, check him out if you like him. Bring it on the comment section. Tell me if you're a fan of this coach, because for me, I don't like him. I'm sorry to sound nasty on the show, but then it's good that we have a man that will place on the job. Talk about the Super Eagles news. Let us have a coach, but make sure no one go to kill us. It's too shame. I don't shame. You cannot be on the verge of saying that it's a shameful story, sincerely. Super Eagles, no coach. Nah, shame be that one. But let's talk about this one again. NPFL, innovative approach. NPFL clubs get ultimatum to set up website. Before I delve into the story, let me tell you something that happened one time in the Nigerian scene. Island. In Nigeria, we have island. In Lagos, to say they have somewhere called island and the mainland. So the mainland is where Voice of People TV is situated, but the island is the likes of Lekki. Talk about like the agile, the rest of that. Something happened somewhere, because right now I'm talking about the innovative approach in the NPFL world. NPFL clubs get ultimatum to set up websites, and this is amazing. Do you know why? Nigerians, we have never seen football as a business. I recall the business guy, Kelechi, loves to say this all the time, and I feel like I'm quoting him on the show. We don't see football as a business. Now, let me tell you, I was in one of the saloons in Lekki, to be exact, in Lagos, Nigeria, and I was having a haircut. One of the NPFL players came in. I recognized him because I'm a sport analyst, right? But everybody in the salon did not even notice him. It'd be like I said, nobody even did it. You know what I mean? I said, do you get it? How bad it is? So he would have felt so, he would have looked so nice if he had come in and like, oh, now Sadiq with this, you know, everybody's talking about him, but nobody knew him. You can imagine an Enzo Fernandez going somewhere in London to cut his hair, just to put the side hair, you know, to do the hair though. You know how it will be big, but in Nigeria, it's not that way. Can I tell you why? One of the reasons are we don't prioritize our own. Shooting Stars is the oldest NPFL club, Nigerian Premier Football League. We have the rise of Ben Insurance. Ben Insurance is there. What's the name? Kano Pillars, Rangers. All of these clubs, they are big. But if you go, sorry to say I'm using Kano Pillars as an example. Please go check it out. Kano Pillars, you will struggle. So Kano player, if you come buy carrots for road, nobody could know him. Because as it stands now, the Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL has mandated clubs to set up websites and support social media platforms to drive engagement and secure revenue streams from such platforms. Do you know that the more people stream, the more you make more value? That's the more you get revenue. This was part of the decision reached as one talk about the Day One Summit for Clubs Media Directors, which was held in Makurdi, Benue State on Friday, after an interactive session with the club media director. The NPFL Chief Operating Officer, Davison Owomi, informed the participant that later this should be done, and later would be rating the club side that are yet to set up website to do this within 1 month. And I'm liking this. You must understand that football is business. Davis Naomi also advised the media officers to invest in personal development in order to improve their skills and contribute equivalently to the development of the club engagement with their fans and commitment. Now, resources people or resources persons at the workshop include the NPFL Director of Media, Harry Iwola, who spoke on becoming an effective club media officer. It's okay that we have our league out. People would not venture into what you do if you don't do it well, if you don't do the right thing. Now, we say we don't have sponsors. How can sponsors come into your league when you are not organized? I'm sorry if I'm sounding this way. We are getting better. I don't want to. We are not unorganized though. We are organized, but we can be better. That's the best word. So they don't come after me and be like, "Kizike saying it this way." The NPFL can be good. Now, we've seen a lot of players in the NPFL who play the trade at home here, leaving for Tanzania, Sudan. Now you begin to question yourself and you begin to reminisce and ask yourself questions. Does it mean that our league is not getting better? Why would a player leave? You're leaving the Nigerian Premier League and you're going to a Sudanese league. And I had a word with Henry the other time and he told me it's not really about the money. And I said, why? He said, one reason again that we talked about is the fact that they don't look at our players. Now, if this coach of Nigeria, what if he becomes our coach? Would he have scouts that will watch our NPFL? These guys play in their soul, spirit, body, and mind every weekend, week out. We've seen quality players in our NPFL. I visited Remo Stars. I was there for the Value Jet Cup. I was there. I saw Amarek play. I saw Shooting Stars play. I saw Kano Pillars. It wasn't Kwara United play. I watched Remo play. They did well. But we have players. Sadiq yesterday scored an amazing goal. I would have brought that to you so you could see the goal. But hopefully tomorrow I'll bring that. I'll make sure I bring that goal. But let's talk about the CAF Champions League quickly. Remo Stars record slim home win against Aspa. Remo Stars secured a narrow victory. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad that we can't get you that clip. I'm feeling so bad. But tomorrow, hopefully, I'll bring that clip for you. So you see that man you have on your screen. You could see the goal he scored. It was amazing. I can't believe such goal can be scored in the NPFL. Now, the Nigerian team home advantage played a crucial role in their win as they managed to edge out Moroccan opponents. The match was a thrilling encounter with both teams creating scoring opportunities. But Remo Stars' determination and resilience ultimately paid off, earning them a hard 7 a.m. I'm always here. And also, please do well to subscribe. So why? When I come on air to talk about sports, you have to be here. Now, our players in the league wants to get national team call-up. Can I tell you something? I know about the Italian team. I know about the Brazilian team. There's something called national call-up, traditional teams. What they do, there's always a space. I'm very factual on the show. There's always a space where they keep for these players. Like they'll say in our team now, for this Nations Cup now, we'll get like 7 NPFL players. Sometimes, even if they don't play, it gives them the motivation. They want to be involved in the team. You need to give these guys call-up. They must get call-up. It's not when you check a team, okay, like the Nations Cup that was just played. We had one team. We had what? We had Sadiq in the, what's Sadiq? Not Sadiq, sorry. Sadiq was qualifier. We had, what's the name? Ojo Onloruleke. That's the goalkeeper of Enyimba currently at that point. And he finally made a move to Sudan, Amerek. Guess what? In the Nations Cup, he was just watching all the games. It was not bad that he was not in the game. It was not bad that he was not getting the start. Because we had Mwabali Stanley, we had Ozoho, and we had Ojo Onloruleke. It was okay to be the third man, no doubt. But what's bad about that talk is that Ojo Onloruleke never saw any game. But if we had other players in the team, benched, no hype, no doubt, he would have been okay. But in that team, it was so bad because as it stands now, most of these players want to travel abroad. They want to go abroad. When I say abroad, not be Europe, you don't understand. Just go out, just leave the NPFL. Because they're not being looked at. Nobody's watching them, nobody's seeing, nobody's wanting to have these players. Now, let me advise the NFF on the show this morning, if they will listen to me. If you want to make Jane Anderson our coach, I'm not a fan, does not mean that you are not a fan as well. But if we decide to make Jane Anderson the Super Eagles #1 coach, please, I beg you, can we have scouts that can search out on our league? So that these boys don't just go playing, and just keep playing and nobody's looking their way. It doesn't work. I think one of the major boasts for the NPFL players is that they want to play in the national team. You need to give them call-ups. We are not the first. More reason why I tell you that on Sports Show, please don't tell me that Nigeria is African giant. Please, let's get the man, the first man on the show, the Anderson, Jane Anderson. So you feel like I'm talking to Anderson, let's get him on the full clip. Jane Anderson, the man who you begin to wonder. Some like to call him Jenny Anderson. You know, is he the right man for the job? Is he good enough to take us there? Is he good enough to take Nigeria to the next phase? Are we going to have him do a magic? Which, see, don't be just qualifier. Qualifier is different. Walk up on icon was pass. And this man does not know anything like about African football. So it's always a different ball game. Why was Harvey Reinhardt ever the best coach that we want? He has proven it. He won the Nations Cup with Zambia national team. He won the Nations Cup with Ivorians in 2015. That's amazing. He's like a world-class coach on African soil. Tom Saintfield, I beg your pardon, who is he? Steve McLaren, good coach in the European scene, but does he have African mentality of managing the game, the methodology, the nitty-gritty of the game? Does he have it? No. And now we are going, see, Bila said we'll not get choice. We are going for, okay, let me leave that. Let's talk about tennis quickly before I go and give you the Chelsea update about the match. Let's talk tennis quickly. Novak Djokovic in the story. Novak Djokovic calls for video replays after Jack Draper controversy. Novak Djokovic has recalled and has called for the introduction of video reviews in tennis after the bizarre conclusion to Jack Draper match at the Cincinnati Open prompted a wider debate about the issue and the use of replays in the sport. Jack Draper, the British #1, defeated Olga Aliassime of Canada 5-7, 6-4, 6-4 to reach the quarterfinal, but the match ended in a heated argument with an angry Olga Aliassime claiming to officials that Draper's winning volley had gone into ground first. Please stay with me. I'll talk about the Chelsea game because the Chelsea match is the biggest talk on the show. I cannot wait to talk about that. Now, the umpire, Greg Allensworth, was unable to view replay and called the point in Draper's favor. The supervisor was called onto court but had no grounds to overturn the decision, with replays unavailable and Draper insisting he had not seen what happened and unwilling to replay the point. It's going to go elsewhere, and that's about talk. Now, reporting to this and responding to that post, Novak Djokovic called for the use of regular video reviews to help prevent such incidents. It's embarrassing that we don't have video replay of this kind of situation on the court. He wrote this. How bad this is. You know, we talk about referee, video assistant referee, and the world of tennis are also wanting that to come to play. But that's aside that. Let's let you know in the Federal Cup in the world of golf. Federal Cup player of exit Jordan Spieth confirms intention to undergo surgery on injured left wrist Jordan Spieth has announced that he will have surgery on his injured left wrist after being knocked out of the FedEx Cup playoff. The American golfer has been struggling with a wrist problem for a while right now, which has forced him to pull out of several events and try different treatments. Moving on, however, he has now decided that surgery is the best way to properly fix the issue and get back to playing his best golf. Spieth Jordan is expected to undergo the procedure soon with the goal of making a full recovery and returning to competition as soon as possible. Let's talk about the big game played yesterday. I cannot wait to talk about this one. Before I talk about the Chelsea game, did you notice that the league will be very hot? Napoli 3-0 to Hellas Verona. They lost away from home. I don't want to say it's a good news because I'm a fan of Victor Osimhen, but it's about this for the club because Antonio Conte is a very good coach and I'm a fan. What about Real Madrid with all of the stars, the Fede Valverde, Kylian Mbappe, Brahim Diaz, Jude Bellingham, Modric, Toni Kroos, Nacho now, there's a Carvajal, there's Eduardo Camavinga, he's injured on the bench somewhere. You know, big players, Eder Militao, Rudiger, Ferland Mendy, Frank Garcia, they have a very good squad. But what happened yesterday? It's so nice to see that a small side like Mallorca were able to turn down that game and made it 1-1. So it was like a once. And also it's looking funny because some teams are struggling in the start of the season. Man United got the result right in their time. Good one. Josh Sexy was just there at the right time. He got the ball. Fernandez was able to do the dazzle and, what have you. Good news. But let's talk about the game played yesterday. Manchester City began their pursuit of a fifth consecutive Premier League title with a comfortable 2-0 win at Stamford Bridge to ruin game in charge for that man. That was a comfortable win to win Chelsea head coach Enzo Maresca's first game in charge. The Italian has replaced Mauricio Pochettino in a hot seat. See, I don't know what Chelsea people are thinking, but let me say to Chelsea fans out there, if you're a Chelsea fan, you need to know that your team is going through a process of restructuring. That's what it's called. Man City Premier League title defense got off to winning start at Stamford Bridge, ruining Enzo Maresca's first game in charge. As Chelsea head coach, Erling Haaland's first goal in the season came just after 19 minutes before Matej Kovacic cut through Chelsea midfield to secure all 3 points for City with a long-range effort in the second half. Chelsea fashioned rare, in that game, hopeful attacking moves were so great, but then largely outclassed by Pep Guardiola's side. Now, according to Enzo Maresca, let me quote the man on the show. He looks like a Pep. I would love to have him on the screen. Enzo Maresca, that's the man you have on your screen there. He said something. He said, I think we competed very well for much of the game. We were similar, if not better. The performance was there, but we didn't take the chances. Probably the big difference was inside the box. I'm quite happy in terms of performance for me and my team. The important thing is to create chances. We didn't score goal, but we created chances. That sounds from a coach. Now, let me give you analysis about something. Problem playing out from the back. All of this style you are seeing is not a one-man thing. It's a Pep Guardiola style. This man learned from Pep. Arteta learned from Pep. What's the name? The Bayern Leverkusen coach, Xabi Alonso. We know his connection with Mourinho, Carlo, but he learned from Pep at some point. Patrick Vieira learned from Pep. So Pep is a manager that you can say, yes, he should be studied, he should be schooled. The university should create that about Pep Guardiola because his style is top-notch, amazing coach. Now, just as we witnessed in a 4-2 defeat by City in the preseason, Chelsea were steadfast in playing out from the back, even when the option really was not on. Jeremy Doku ought to have punished Malo Gusto when his shot deflected off Wesley Fofana and drew a brilliant save from Robert Sanchez when City were already in the ascendancy. Now, let me tell you, Sanchez then passed straight to Kevin De Bruyne, barely 90 seconds into the second half in seeking Kopama, but he carelessly avoided severe ramification. There were a lot of plenty grounds in the first half when both Oliver Colwell and Fofana were too slow in their build-up play. Now, Enzo Maresca wants to play from the back. He would never stop it till it works out. Now, it's an idea that the new boss will not waver from that one game, but teething problems which we've witnessed in that very game. Now, one thing they're trying to do is Chelsea is trying to restructure. Please don't expect so much from Maresca. He played against a better coach. Pep Guardiola is far better than any of those coaches. Now, you would have to restructure your mind to get the results right. Up till date, the reason why Arsenal have not won the league is because they are trying to find a strategy just to be able to break in and get the results right. Arsenal have not won the league for a long time. I recall is recent time that are coming close. And the last 2 seasons, they were so close, but they did not get it right. Why? One man is in the picture. I love to get a Pep Guardiola's picture on the screen. Pep Guardiola is a very big quality coach. He looks like that of Enzo. This is not Guardiola. I would love to get a Pep Guardiola on the screen. I mean, I like the one he's folding his hand somewhere and his clothes is like he's folding his hand. I mean, that looks very nice about Pep. Now, Pep Guardiola knows this job very well. For you to get the result right about Pep, you need to make sure you go down the nitty-gritty and study them well. Not until Arsenal has gotten the breakdown, they'll start getting the results. A lot of pundits out there are saying Arsenal will win the Premier League, but you know what Pep Guardiola does? Pep Guardiola is like a blocking stock. You need to get past his thinking. All that man does, he sleeps football, he thinks football, he dreams football, he eats football. With a team like Man City on the screen, we'll get you that one. The result yesterday was great. And then you could begin to imagine what a team. But let's talk about Romeo Lavia. While we wait for the pictures of Man City, I don't know how it's not coming through. Let's talk about Lavia. Now, Romeo Lavia's story is somewhere close. Romeo Lavia had 49 touches, which was, only bettered by Michael Correa. Romeo Lavia is a very good player. I'm liking his dread all the time. He has this dread Chelsea player. Now, Michael Correa, 69, had more touches during the game while Romeo Lavia was on the game. Now, in seeking an equalizer, Maresca turned to the old plan A of playing Moise Caicedo alongside Enzo Fernandez as Kieran Dewsbury Hall came in and took the number 10 role. Now, Chelsea fans will love Romeo Lavia. I don't know why I'm not getting Romeo Lavia on the screen. I don't know why, but then we'll have to see that goes on. Romeo Lavia is a player who had just 49 touches while he was on the game. But do you know something funny about that man? Last season, he was not involved because he had an injury, and Pochettino loves him. 53 or 59 million pounds buy from Southampton to Chelsea. He worked so well. But can I tell you this shocking story about that man? Yesterday, he had a decent game against City. But there's something that manager did that did not work well. Enzo Fernandez played as a number 10. We had Moise Caicedo, we have, what's the name, and Romeo Lavia standing together as a double pivot, but they're trying to advance. Now, that Conor Gallagher is missing. Conor Gallagher is missing. Conor Gallagher is missing on the game. Okay? Now, Conor Gallagher's story is somewhere very, very close. I'm talking about the last story right now, so we talk about this. Now, Enzo Fernandez played like a number 10. He was a skipper of the side, but he was not effective. Those passes were not coming. Okopama played from. That's just what happens when you have too much squad. When you talk about Chelsea, there are so many. Who then go play? Who then go start? Chelsea defense line is long. Reece James, Malagoso, Ben Chilwell, Kukureya, Badiashile. There are so many. And then Enzo Fernandez played as a number 10. Handed that through. Can I tell you something about this now? Conor Gallagher was Pochettino's road runner. Starting, on that fact that he was good. He started the press, and his game was so very well, advanced so well. Fernandez also assumed the position. But Gallagher is struck in holding pattern. And we do not know at this point in time if the deal to Atletico Madrid will be revived. The Spanish club need to find a solution to generate the necessary funds for as long as the run goes on. Fernandez is likely to retain his place higher on the pitch. Now, Fernandez, if he retains his place on the pitch, how does he work? How does he work? How does that work? If he continues up there, is he going to be the man to give those passes in the final third for Chelsea for the goals to come? I'm going to talk about Nicolas Jackson part where he needs to work with his head. He needs to understand that maybe Chelsea might go back and get to Osimhen. Just get to Osimhen. Do you understand? Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll tell you more about this one. Don't go anywhere. Please stay with us.
Catch up with the latest topics making the buzz, the stories that tick, the trends. Let's let you in on why they are trending. From politics, entertainment, business, lifestyle, and more. Analyzing the trending stories with top eyeballs. Hashtag on Voice of the People Television, giving you an insight to everything and everyone Nigeria is talking about. Showing on VOP TV, 10 p.m. Monday to Friday. Hashtag if it's trending, we bring it on.
Welcome back again. You're still watching Voice of the People TV right here at the Sports Republic Show. My name is Kizike. Let's talk about that game again. Continue from Kovacic right now. Mateo Kovacic is a Chelsea player everybody knows, former Chelsea player. Now, Chelsea three-man midfield cost the club a combined £255 million. And yet, it was a former player who looked the most convincing in the City shirt. Mateo Kovacic made 221 appearances during his 5-year spell at Stamford Bridge, but he impressed very well in the absence of Rodri at the base for Guardiola's side. Not known for his goals, his clincher was this. Now, that's Romeo Lavia on the screen, but Kovacic, I'm talking about Mateo Kovacic, the man before the Jackson story. Now, given City lost 3 of the 4 games when Rodri was absent last season, you can see how the club is looking very big. It was an important hurdle to overcome an opening day by the champions who are unbeaten when the Spaniard have played in the past 18 months. Mateo Kovacic is a very good player. Maresca selected 11 players from the start who all knew each other from last season. But by end, he had Dewsbury Hall, Renato Vega, Pedro Neto, and Mark Gil on the pitch. Now, that signaled just why it was so important for Chelsea to score first. Now, in seeking fresh impetus, Maresca turned to players untested in this surrounding and also so that the team quest for priority can come back to life. Now, let me end up the show by talking about one man, Nicholas Jackson. Oh, Nicholas Jackson, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in Jackson. You know why? Only Darwin Núñez, 33, has been offside more since start of last season than Nicholas Jackson on Sunday. The 30th of the flag against him denied Chelsea an equalizer just before the break. Now, my question to you about this man on the screen is, do you think Nicholas Jackson is a top striker? My opinion, he needs to get better. Nicholas Jackson needs to get better. He's not doing well. And with that, I'm expecting the Chelsea side to possibly go and get in a striker, maybe just to maybe getting a very good player like that of Osimhen. Now, Chelsea ended the game with just 2 shots on target. You don't understand? That's how bad it is. With the superior of XG to their opponent, Jackson often needs 3 chances to score once. Sometimes he needs 7 to score 1. With Christopher Nkunku now fit and Maresca with an embarrassment of riches across the front line, every blank will feel costly. I can advise Chelsea this morning on the show. Depending on where you're watching, it's morning in Nigeria here. It's morning in Nigeria. Chelsea, please go and sign Osimhen. Because the team is trying to restructure. The more they're trying to restructure, games will keep coming. They barely, okay, now, for that of yesterday, most of those players knew themselves. But the role Enzo Fernandez played is a different role he's not played before. He advanced higher, just nice. But you can imagine the money spent in the midfield. And Mateo Kovacic without Rodri yesterday was amazing. The goal he scored was nice. See, tomorrow, please, I'm going to start. I think I should start with this one tomorrow to give you a talk about this one so I can bring you those goals again. I know you've seen the goals, you've seen those goals, but we can bring those goals again so you can see how big Manchester City are. Pep Guardiola will always outclass every manager in the Premier League. There's something about Pep Guardiola. Yesterday, Bernardo Silva was the man of the match. He was literally everywhere. There was no Rodri. How did they start? They were just so good. They were the better side. But for Enzo Maresca, I'm so sorry you lost against your boss. I think in his mind, he already knew he was not going to win that game. But we have to go now. Our time is up. Hopefully tomorrow, another time, 11 a.m. Keep it locked here. We'll give you more virtuals tomorrow, more video clips as well tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll give you that promise. We have to bring you those ones. But on this note, we come to the show. We have to bring it to an end. We have the media news coming up next, and that's for 12. Please don't go anywhere. But you're still watching the Sports Republic Show, and this is Voice of the People TV. Tomorrow will be a very great day. And up until then, I have to say goodbye. And then, don't forget, I am the only football player without a jersey. And my name is Kizzy K. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll see you.